Alright guys, so we're back. Today, this video is coming from probably one of the more beautiful locations that we've filmed so far here for the YouTube channel. Show them real quick, Rye. We are on Sauna Island in the Dominican Republic. And today, we're going to kind of stem off of yesterday's video where Riley was mentioning to me that a lot of people were speaking about identifying trend. And we talked about yesterday what the Forex market is, and I mentioned that Forex is a trending market. So how do you identify that trend as these currency pairs are moving, as the exchange rate, like we talked about, is changing? How do you identify, is it moving higher or is it moving lower? For me, it's very simple. I use technical indicators. And now I know a lot of people are going to probably comment on the video and say, technical indicators are lagging, or technical indicators don't work. Here's why they do for Forex. Because this market is open 24 hours a day, 5 days per week, it's only closed on the weekend, the market doesn't gap as much as the stock market does. When a stock closes, and I've shown this to you, Riley, we'll see some stocks close here and then the next day because of some news report, they open up down here. That gap in the price screws up the way the indicator can gather the data and paint the EMA or paint the RSI, whatever indicator you're using. Does that make sense to you guys? If it doesn't, drop a comment. I will clarify it even more. But what I'm saying is these indicators work really well in Forex because there are no gaps. Price moves 24 hours a day, 5 days a week with very little gaps. Because of that, the indicators can take the price movement, the data points, and paint really strong indicators of trend. Now, where the indicators really kind of kick up and can give you a good idea of which direction you should be trading, which direction the currency pair is going to trend and move, is when you can have multiple indicators that are using different data point sets telling you the same direction is the trend. So for example, I use EMAs, a lot of you guys have seen my recaps, and I use the TDI, Traders Dynamic Index. With the EMAs, they're gathering data from price, but with the TDI, a few of the components built into that are actually only gathering data from the relative strength index. So because we're gathering similar data on the same currency pair, but from two different starting points, I'm able to find, if I can find, confluence between these two data sets to then tell me to trade in the same direction. And when you can do that, what do we call that, right? Guys, what do we call it? Confluence, right? Not divergence, confluence. And when you have that kind of confluence from one indicator and then more from another indicator, you should feel confident that you now have identified the direction of the trend. So when we talk about EMAs and the RSI, we're not going to get too technical with it because I don't have a chart here to show you guys right now. But when you see EMAs, and if you can use multiple EMAs, for me I use the 8, the 21, the 50, the 200, and the 800. When you can use multiple EMAs, you can then qualify. Well, 3 of those, maybe the shorter term ones, are telling me we're in an uptrend. But the longer, the higher time frame ones, they're telling me we're actually maybe in a downtrend. And when you don't have agreement there, that should throw up a red flag in that trade idea. It should say, maybe this isn't a perfect trade. Maybe this is a B setup. Maybe this trend just isn't as clear and I should go look for something else. So it's not always using indicators even to take trades or using indicators to tell you the trend. It's sometimes using the indicators to say, hey, this isn't that great. You could find something better. And I highly recommend that if you're not using indicators today, if you're not using indicators in your trading and you're trading Forex, I would highly recommend that you start doing it. And even if you need to watch some of my old videos where we talk about it and I show you, hey, this is how you add the TDI. I'll link it right here, the trading view setup, all of that. I want you guys to go test it out if you're not using it already. Because I know there's going to be people that are like, Austin, indicators are lagging. You got to do naked trading. You got to do price action. You don't have to do anything. You have to find what works for you. As I've said before, there's a million different ways to make money in this market, but there are a few facts that you can't argue with. One of them is that the market is trending. And 2 is that if you're trading in trend, it's going to be a more probable trade. You're more likely than not going to win that trade if you identify the trend and the proper timing. How do you do that? Well, I just told you in this whole video how to identify the trend. So now you're going to say, well, Austin, how do I know when to get in, when to get out? How do I actually make money on these trades? We're going to talk about that in tomorrow's video. But for now, we're going to end today's video right here. Ryan, show them this fucking beach. It's unbelievable, guys. They took us out. We went snorkeling, brought us here for lunch. We had lobster and chicken. I mean, I don't think you get much more close to paradise than this. Look, palm trees on the beach. It's kind of private, quiet. Like, the only people that are here are the people that were on the boat with us. Could you ask for any more, right?
Absolutely not.
So Again, guys, about identifying trend, try the indicators out. Drop a comment below. Let me know if it helps you. And if it doesn't, and if you still are having, some issues with it, please reach out to me. We have too many successful traders now showing the world on social media, on YouTube, on everything, that indicators do work and they do help you identify trend, and that will help you identify when you should be getting in and when you should be getting out. So again, guys, enjoy the scenery, enjoy some B-roll, and I'll talk to you tomorrow about how to know when to get in and when to get out when you're using technical indicators to identify trend.